Hello, hello. Thank you all for joining. We're going to be doing the color packing of this design that I've done earlier here with you all live. If you missed that part, you can go back and review it. It's available on my YouTube channel for streaming. I'm going to go ahead and let the stream get started here, give people a little bit of time to come in. Hello, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for giving me your time this evening. Appreciate you. All right. Okay, so if anyone has any questions at all, please feel free to let me know at any point throughout this stream. I'm going to go ahead and kick it off here. For those who are just joining and don't know how I got here, there is a live stream available on my YouTube channel that you can check out. I do a step-by-step follow along. You could download the stencil and do this tattoo with me. Now I'm at the second part where I'm now ready to apply coloring. With color, I'm going to typically start with my darker colors and then work my way on up to lighter colors. I am working on fake skin, which is why I do this. I don't want to stain my colors after I've applied them. So this is basically what it's going to look like, or what it should look like rather. I have a combination of different colors. I have like some sort of like skin tone. We have like a sort of orange color and a red. For these colors, I'm going to be using this Mummy Crimson Red for the dark color. And then for this like golden area, I'm going to be using the Mummy Golden Yellow. I'm sorry, for this top area right here. Actually, no, that's correct. So for that area, I'll be using the Mummy Golden Yellow. And then for like that tanned area, I probably will be going with the Caramel. I feel like that's a great way to go about doing that. I could even kind of reverse these and use the Caramel for this one and the Golden Yellow for up top. I don't really think I don't think that it matters. If you don't have these colors, you can use your own color combination. The same technical approach I'm going to share with you could apply to pretty much any color. If you don't have colors, you can even do shading if you'd like. So for this instance, I'm going to start with the red and then kind of work my way on up. The last color that I would be using for this instance is going to be this one right here. So I think that the red is going to be on those right there, obviously. And for me, I'm probably going to go with it where I either do this caramel, this top color, and this one, this color right there. I think that's how I'm going to go about doing it, keep it straightforward and simple. So in terms of mixing my color, what I do is I have an ink cap right here. Let me kind of bring this closer here. So I have an ink cap, and within this ink cap, I filled the bottom with some witch hazel. Down there, as you can see. And let me see here, I have a question coming in. What is the best way to learn Procreate? Honestly, let's see here. Chris Josh, just dive right on in, man. I would just recommend diving right on in and seeing the features and everything that it has to offer. I feel like it's probably the best way to go about it. Do you have to work the face skin more than we're just going to get the color packing like that? I would say so. It depends on your technical application. If you stick around long enough, you'll see how I go about doing that. But I would say it's, I think human skin's a little bit more easier to work with after we get to a certain technical point, so to speak. Yeah, you're welcome. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and have some witch hazel at the bottom. I'm going to use my Mummy Crimson Red, and I'm going to place or put the ink in there the rest of the way. I have that witch hazel there just to prevent any sort of drying out on me. Although it wouldn't, I just don't want it to start getting crusty on me and drying out. So for me to avoid that, I'm going to simply just put a little bit of witch hazel at the bottom with red ink all the way up to the top. And I'm just going to go ahead and mix it in. from here, I'm going to go ahead and select the needle. Since I only have a couple, or actually a few parts of red, I'm not going to get a larger needle. I kind of want to stay within a medium range. So this middle area and then these two outer areas are going to go the crimson red. And for that, I'm probably going to go with, for example, this Inkclaw right here. This is going to be three, as you can see, it has 5 bug pin 3-round liners. So we have 3-round liners, but we have 5 of them at the edge of this mag. It's a little bit hard for me to explain as it is a specialty needle, but that's the needle that I'm going to go with here. Inkclaw needle, for those who are wondering. I do have a full, but this is what it looks like. So as you can see, it's just one of 3-round liners there. I'm going to also be using the Inkclaw Black Tortoise tattoo machine to apply this here. Please go ahead and like the stream, share this stream. I would appreciate that as well. Thank you all very much. It really depends on what fake skin you're using. Some fake skins are almost impossible to clean, so that has a lot to do with the fake skin that you're using. What fake skin are you using? Dead Bones. Let's see here. So West Huffer, thank you for joining. Thank you for asking questions. How would you suggest with just a gray wash? With just a gray wash, yeah, I would definitely do varying tones. You can do 20, 40, 60, 80. And then, for example, on some of these other areas, you can do like maybe 20 right here, maybe 60, you know, kind of just mix and match and place those placements where you go. That's a great way to go about it. You can even just use 20 and 40 and use lighter tones. That's also a good way to go about it. I don't really feel like there is a right or wrong, but more so getting comfortable with the choices you're making and having some sort of practical approach as to why you're making those choices. I feel like that's what really matters. I bought a pack off Amazon. I do get some of my fake skins off Amazon as well, but depending on which ones you got would really determine the quality. Right now for this demonstration, I am using Trueskin fake skin. I have an in-depth review on my YouTube channel about Trueskin fake skin. It's a really good quality fake skin. I like it. I've had this fake skin, or I've been using this fake skin for like maybe a year plus now, and it's always done well for me. It's called Trueskin. Okay, from here, I'm going to go ahead and begin applying some red. First and foremost, I'm going to begin by applying some ointment to the area that I will be tattooing and the surrounding areas. I'm going to go ahead and explain how I work this skin. So I'm running at 4.5 volts. And I'm starting with the crimson red simply because it's a darker color and I don't want to stain the others. So from here, I'm going to start right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and begin to let my needles make enough rounds to deposit the ink in a clean and consistent manner. I'm not going to really go into the existing black ink that's there, as I want this red tone to show up as true to red as possible. And going over the black is only going to kind of stain and taint it. There we go. So you can see I'm using a series of small motions going back and forth here. And each time I make a circular motion, I make sure that I saturate before I kind of continue. And I make sure that I'm moving at a consistent pace. The last thing I want to do is have an unsteady tempo, moving faster in some areas, slow in others. That's what I don't want. As you can see, so small circular motions from point A to B. The reason why I like this mag too is because I can be real precise with my deposits. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and wipe away with a kind of generous amount of ointment so I can see exactly what I need to pack in. I go edge to edge as well. I'm going to turn my mag this way and then kind of do a little bit of cross hatching. Just really taking my time. I want to have a sort of consistent tempo. I don't want to move too fast, nor do I want to move too slow. I want to find that perfect medium, and that's the result of that middle area right there. Hopefully the light does it justice here. The fake skin is available on Amazon. It's called Trueskin. I'm going so slow because that's the tempo that I work at. I'm running at a lower voltage and working off the very tips of my needles, so I require a slower movement. Let me see over here. If anyone has any questions at all, please feel free to let me know. I'm going to go ahead and continue applying the red on both of these areas right here. So right here goes red, and then right here as well. Small circular motions. So here's my starting point. Then I'm going to make my way on over to my B point. Starting point is my A point. Ending point is my B point. So again, small circular motions right here, from right to left. Same thing right here. I'll go back for some more ink so that way I have adequate ink flow, and I feel like this part is just about complete here. And I'm going to go and finish this other area as well before I continue to move on to the next part. So small circular motions is what I use, or the technique that I use to saturate, and that's what I'm using here in these smaller areas, along with a single row mag. Slow, steady, and consistent. I'm going to go do a little bit of cross hatching this way, and then from here, I believe that's about it for the red, if I'm correct. And then now I can move on over to the next color, which is going to be the next lightest color. I feel that is going to be the caramel color, and then the golden yellow will be last. So that's it for the red right there. I do want to take some looks at it. If there's any areas that I didn't go over or that need to be packed a little bit more, definitely want to take my time and pack those in. And then from here, I'm going to switch on over to another needle, and we're going to move on over to the caramel color. Right now, I'm running at 4.5 volts even. It depends. If you're wiping away and your lines are wiping away, you're probably moving a little bit too fast and you're not giving your needle enough rounds so that way it's not depositing in a solid or saturated manner. That's probably what may be happening. So if anything, you may just want to slow it down. You don't really need more pressure. More pressure doesn't equate to more saturation. You just have to let the needle make enough rounds to deposit the ink in a solid, clean, consistent manner. So for this, these are the only two colors that I have left. I'm going to save this golden yellow for last as it's the lightest color, and I'm going to go with this caramel color right here. I'm probably going to use the caramel color for this top area right here, and then this area is going to go the golden yellow, which is a little bit different from the design there, the reference. However, I still feel like that would work out well. So that's how I'm going to go about it. I could even use the caramel for this area and then do golden yellow for all those up top, which is another way to go about it. It's really going to be to each their own. I don't really feel like there's a right or wrong at this point. If anything, then I may just end up using the caramel for all of these smaller areas and then do golden yellow. Let me know what y'all think. This fake skin is available on Amazon. If you want to know more about it, I do have full in-depth reviews available on my YouTube channel. You can go over to my YouTube channel at Daniel Yuck and then type in Trueskin fake skin, and I have several reviews on this fake skin. So we're doing the same thing. I'm putting witch hazel into the bottom of the ink cap there, and then from here I'm going to go ahead and just fill it up to the top, and I'm going to do that with the caramel color here. And I'm going to go ahead and mix that. Now, I think for this color right here, I am probably going to just end up doing this middle area, the caramel, and then this top part up here, the golden color. I think that's going to be a good way to go about it. And for this area right here, I'm probably going to end up going with, for example, maybe the same size needle, an Inkclaw specialty mag, so that way I can be real precise with my deposits. Maybe this one right here. Hey, thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. Hey, thank you for sending me the gift. I appreciate that. For those who are here with me, I appreciate that. For those that are liking the stream, I appreciate you. Thank you for your time as well. So for here, I'm going to go ahead and kind of just mark all the areas that I'm going to be depositing ink into. I'm going to use the caramel, and I'm going to place the caramel into this area right here, this area right here, and then these two areas right here. So essentially just marking all of those areas. So all of those areas are going to need to go packed with this caramel color right here. I want to be real mindful, patient with the process, and I don't want to rush. It's going to be the same thing as we did with the red, a series of just small circular motions. I'm going to go ahead and go back for some more ink here. I'm running at a very low voltage, which means that I have more time on the skin to work for my technical application. I can move a bit slower and I can saturate more without causing as much damage as one may think. So it's really going to depend on the machine that you are using and your technical application that's going to determine how much time you have on the skin and how much damage you are causing. What may work for me may not work for you. So we have to be mindful of that going into our designs and tattoos. So that's going to be that area right there. And I'm going to move on over here and then repeat the same. I'm also mindful of the wipe that I'm using. The wipe that I'm using can contaminate the surrounding areas, which is what I don't want. So I'm always careful of when I wipe, and I'm going to be very careful and mindful the more that I go out to the other areas as well. So I don't want to stain or contaminate. With fake skin, it's a little bit different. We can kind of stain and contaminate a bit easier, which is going to compromise the read and integrity of the design when we're done. So just got to be patient with the application process. So I'm going to cover or color in those two at the bottom right there. Now, I don't think that the light really does it justice here right now. So I'll go ahead and give you a top view when I'm done and let you see it. But right now, I do feel like it's reading nicely. I'm going to go ahead and continue with those areas right there. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for sending me the thank yous. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the questions and comments. I appreciate you all spending your evening here with me, or your morning, wherever you are located. So from here, I'm going to do the same thing. Essentially get the boundary going and then begin to pack in using a series of just small circular motions from point A to B. I'm not driving the needle in there. I'm not pressing down at all. I'm actually just letting the amount of rounds my needle make really do the work for me. When I am done, I dab away as well as to not contaminate the black. If you notice when I'm done, the black gets a little stained, which is what we don't want. I'm going back for some more ink right here. Just back and forth. If I feel like this mag's too small, I can always switch it out and go with something a little bit larger if I'd like. It's really going to be to each their own. It would essentially be the same with any mag as well. The process in terms of technical application. So you can see though, it really does just require patience. Now from here, I don't really need as tight of a mag in these areas as I did right here. So from here I can kind of switch and move to a mag that's a little bit more spaced out so I can cover a bit more ground here without so many passes. Now this is going to be fully subjective. If you don't want to switch, you don't have to. That's going to be 110% up to you and how you want to approach it. You don't even have to use a mag if you don't want. You can use a round liner if you'd like, or a round shader. Again, it's going to be up to you. But for this, what I'm going to do is switch to this Inkclaw needle right here. So this one basically has 6 003 round liners at the end of this tip right here. And that's what I'm going to use to pack in this area right here and that area. Still running at 4.5 volts. That is not going to change as I feel like that tempo is right for me. If anyone has any questions at all, please feel free to let me know. I'll do my best to assist in the best possible direction there. So you'll notice, see how I can cover more ground now. Starting from my A point, making my way on over to my B point. I'm just going to kind of go back over here and cross hatch, dab away, put some ointment, wipe the excess and see where I am at, and then kind of repeat this process here. So you can see I'm going right up to the edge, doing my best not to cross into the existing black, as I don't really feel like it's necessary. I'm sure if it was on human skin, it'd be a little bit more forgiving and we'd be able to. But since I'm working on fake skin, I want to try to keep it as tight as I can here. I'm going to go ahead and dab away. I'm going to go back for some more ink here. And then I'm going to go ahead and begin filling in these areas. So point A, and then make my way on over to point B. And I'm going to repeat that all the way throughout. There's my A point. I'm going over to B. I do feel like using this mag is a bit more swifter for me. You don't have to use a specialty mag either. If you don't have any of these needles that I'm using available, that's perfectly fine. I'm sure any mag is going to do the job. Let me make sure that I am on frame. So far so good. Hopefully this is doing justice here. Or the lighting is doing the tattoo justice. So circular motions from point A to B. Same thing right here. And the process is kind of, I guess, what's the right word? I guess kind of boring as it is straightforward. Nothing changes in terms of like technicality. The same hand speed and voltage that I started with is the same one that I'm going to apply every color with and finish with. However, the only thing that changes is maybe this color I'm applying in this direction, this color I'm going to be applying in this direction. You get the idea. That's really the only thing that changes, but in terms of technicality, hand speed to voltage, depth, all of that stays the same. So there we go. I'm going to turn this a little bit so that I can get the right angle while still capturing this on camera here. So point A to B. I'm going back for some more ink here. If there's any areas that I see that need kind of work on, or to be worked, I'll just patch them up as I go. I won't switch to another needle or wait too long on it. I'll just patch it up so I don't have to revisit that area. And then from here, I'm gonna kind of dab here and remove the excess here. You can kind of see the black. I'm not sure if it shows up on camera, but the black has a small tint of that brown there. That's what I meant earlier. You want to be careful with staining. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing with this last area right here. Just small circular motions until I'm done from point A to B. You'll hear me say this a lot if you follow along with me more. I have a natural urge to kind of just want to speed up. So it's a constant practice to keep reminding myself to slow down and stay at a consistent tempo. If anyone has any questions or if there's any comments, I will go ahead and check them here shortly. And then from here would be the golden yellow for the top remainder part of the design. The top remaining part of the design, forgive me. I'm going to go ahead and put a generous amount, or kind of a generous amount of ointment, and see what else needs any sort of packing, or if there's any last minute patching up I need to do, I'm going to do that. Which I see right here. A little bit of cross hatching this way. Dab away, generous amount of ointment, and take a look. Let me know what you all think. Let me know how you feel this is coming out. Hey, you're in Galveston. I am actually in San Antonio. What brand of pen? Right now I'm using an Inkclaw Black Tortoise tattoo machine, and the cartridge that I'm using is an Inkclaw cartridge. I've been tattooing about maybe 3 years, going on 4 now. Oh, 15. Hey, 15 round liners. That's awesome. That's a more heavier line weight. Hey, thank you for the heart. I appreciate that. I appreciate the gift. Yeah, it's a mag. This is actually a specialty mag. It's a specialty mag right here. So the mag that I'm going to be using for the next part of this design is going to be this right here. This is the same one that I'm using. This is going to be, for example, it's going to be 6 003 round liners at the end of this mag. So it's just one roll of needles. There's 6 3 round liners. that are in the size of 00. So now I feel like it's a good spot to kind of clean this up. Take a look at everything of if there's like any sort of like patchy results, inconsistent results. Right now would be a good time to go ahead and go over it. Make sure that everything is nice and clean. There are a little bit of areas right here that I have to kind of touch up. And I feel like using our eyes is probably the best tool for this part right here. Same technique, I'm not going to change it. I'm still running at 4.5 volts. Just using smaller circular motions. Go ahead and wipe away. Okay, so that's looking nice and clean there. Let's see here. Forgive me for that. Hey, what's up, Irish? Thank you all for joining. It's good to have you all back. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Irish. Audacious, thank you for joining as well. It's good to have you all back. Raquel Martinez, the voltage that I've been using is 4.5 volts. Yes, William, I do find that I run at a lower voltage far more than on these sort of machines than I do on, say, a pen style tattoo machine. Yeah, I do notice that. I'm not sure if you followed along with me, but like on like pen style tattoo machines, I'll typically be around 6 to 8 volts, where on this machine I'm running at around 4 to 5. It's very, very rare that I go above 5 volts, if that. Or it's actually very rare that I'll even go to 5 volts. So I feel like that's reading nice and clean. Let me know what you all think down below. I'm going to go ahead and be mindful. I'm switching over to a new wipe. And I'm going to repeat that process with the lightest color. Why is it going on so dark by low? For me, I think it's the same tone. It's just a smaller amount of it, so it looks that way. I feel like maybe it's just a smaller amount. Maybe there's more open area right here. But they look about the same tone to me, I guess, from here. Yeah, on the YouTube video, the lighting is a little bit different from the other video that I'm streaming on. The other video that I'm streaming on is more accurate to tone. But these look pretty accurate here. I'll post pictures later on as well and show you like top views with more accurate lighting so you can see it. But it does look about right. If there's any sort of fluctuation, it could be staining from these heavier line weights. But I did my best to clean them so that way there wasn't too much cross-contamination. I am very new. I've only done tattoos on student, no blows because of you. Hey, that's awesome. How do you feel your journey is going, Raquel? Let's see, about 6 months in. Hey, that's awesome, man. Yeah, D-Rock, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you. Tattoos from Leprechaun. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the gift. Good to see you again, Leprechaun. And the last color here is going to be the golden yellow. I did notice with fake skin too that the colors are never truly accurate. So for example, what you see here is going to definitely fluctuate once we deposit it into the fake skin. Hey, it's good to have you, man. I haven't seen you for a while. I've gone live for a few times. I haven't seen you the past couple of streams. I've been working on face skins for a year. And that's awesome. I would recommend just taking your time with it, you know, being kind to yourself along the way and enjoying the process. It's definitely a wild ride. So we're now doing the golden yellow, which is going to be the lightest color. I'm essentially mixing it in right now. For those who are curious, this is what I'm using. So there's going to be 6 003 round liners at the end of this mag right here. Oh, okay. I don't know how to send an invite. I didn't even know we can do that, Leprechaun. Yeah, exactly. It's not truly accurate. So like if it does fluctuate in color a little bit, that's not something that I focus on because if it was on human skin, it would have reflected the way that it should have. Fake skin is just a little bit tricky sometimes, which is why I also approach it the way that I do. It can be a little bit easy to stain and cross contaminate. Hey, thank you, Irish. I appreciate that. If anyone has any questions at all, please feel free to let me know. Thank you for joining and spending your evening, morning, or night with me here. This is going to be the mag. As you can see, it's a single row mag. Has one roll of needles, but there's 6 of them going across. Are you only using the Inkclaw? Are you using the Inkclaw? Right now, yes, the needles that I've used are Inkclaw, but for the other session earlier today to build the black, it was a different assortment of needles. But right now, I am using these right here, yeah, for this tattoo. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and begin to work these areas and then just fill in this remaining part here with the golden yellow. So that part's going to be pretty straightforward here. It shouldn't be too hard to drop the ball from here on out. I'm just going to be mindful of staining and cross-contamination. So you're going to notice that I really don't go into the black at all, especially the lighter the color that I use, just so that way I don't get any sort of staining or fluctuations in tone. I want it to stay as accurate as I can keep it. So here's my A point. I'm building this area and my B point is this way. I'm working really lightly and really slowly. I'm not putting in too much force at all. I'm letting the rounds of the needle do the work for me. And you can see I'm getting a nice, clean, vibrant saturation here. I'll go up to the edge right there and go back for some more ink here. So here we go. So round circular motions. I'm going to dab away. And then we'll do a little bit of cross hatching this way. To begin building this way. What voltage do you typically pack at? But you can see that I'm getting vibrant colors there. I'm getting a vibrant pack there. Yeah, I don't know how to invite people. Let me see. There's a share button on the bottom of your screen. I do see that. Okay, oh, okay. So like would I share it like one by one to people? That's interesting. I didn't know that we can do that. Yeah, thank you for always teaching me, Leprechaun. I appreciate that. For human skin, I use Radiant. Right now, I'm using Mummy Tattoo ink, but for human skin, I've only tried Radiant at the moment. And Intends. For a color, in terms of color. I'm always mindful of the ink flowing from my needle as well, as ink flow is really important. I've learned that my technical application can be correct, but if I don't have good ink flow, then it wouldn't really matter. I'm changing out my wipe to a cleaner side here. Turning my mag over onto the side to get these areas right here. I don't really rely on pressure when it comes to packing. I rely more on making rounds and circular motions. So I'm letting my needle cycle around enough to deposit the ink in a clean and consistent manner is what I focus on. Dab away. I'm going to go ahead and go back for some more ink here. Make sure my ink flow is adequate. Okay, let me see here. That's way too deep for a real client. It's hard to say, you know, it's really difficult, especially over fake skin and on camera. To say that it's too deep is a bit inaccurate. Everyone has a different technique, so for me, I'm using the very tip of the needle, so it's definitely not too deep. Yeah, I do like to dab. Yeah, exactly. Silicone is way more tougher to work with. Look for the share button before you go live. Oh, okay. So I'll do that before I go live from now on, Leprechaun. Shredded. I doubt it. Seriously doubt it. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and move on to this side right here. Yeah, this is just an Inkclaw. It's going to be, I think, 003. There's 6 003 round liners at the end of this needle right here. I'm going to go ahead and wipe that excess there. Yeah, if it's really hard to say, you know, what shredding is, especially when it's fake skin. Um, there's a lot that goes into that. I think it's more of like a derogatory term nowadays when people kind of throw that around, as opposed to it actually being the technical problem. From what I've seen, 9 times out of 10, whenever people tell someone that they're shredding the skin, that's not really what they're doing. They're just using a technique that works for them. I'm assuming maybe because people think that tattooing works a certain way and we all should apply it a certain way. I don't know, something like that. So from here, I acknowledge my A point, and then I'm going to make my way on over to my B. I don't really like to go over into the black here because it is fake skin and it stains easy. I don't want it to stain, especially if I want it to be readable when I'm done. I don't want it to be messy and blotchy looking. I'm going back for some more ink here. This is Trueskin fake skin. It is a bit tougher to saturate. One thing that I've noticed too is that human skin is much easier to be in and out of. I'm going to go ahead and go back for some more ink here. Wipe away. I'm actually going to adjust this to accommodate for my angle here. Hey, thank you, Neffy. I appreciate that. Good evening to you, too. Doubt it. That's my guy. Yeah, man. I don't really know like what people want me to say when they're saying I'm shredding. I'm say, no, I'm not. I promise you, I'm not shredding the skin. I don't know what to say. Okay. So from here, I'm going to make sure I have adequate ink flow first and foremost. I'm going to work my way around here, creating just small circular motions. I am using almost brush-like motions. I'm working off just the very tips of the needles. I'm not being forceful or applying any sort of pressure at all. I literally just kind of right here, and then I move the needles around and let them make enough rounds to deposit the ink in a clean, consistent manner. It's not a real forceful process that I'm using. Let me put some ointment here to see where I am at. Small circular motions. You can see I'm going in this direction now as opposed to kind of right and left. I'm moving in a sort of up and down manner now. And I would kind of maybe refer to that as cross-hatching a little bit. Dab away. The napkin that I'm using too isn't dry here. It's full of ointment. Every time I wipe, I'll wipe with the area that I just used to have ointment on, so it's not necessarily dry at all. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit more ointment and then patch up this last little area right here. Go back for some more ink here. Since I've already been in these areas right here, when I come back, I'm actually just kind of using like light motions like that just to get closer to the edges and add a little bit more saturation in those areas, so it's not necessarily drilling into the skin. Let's go ahead. I have a little area right here that I'm going to go back and patch up. I'm going to use this style to black out my leg. Hey man, let me know how it goes. If you're streaming, I'll go ahead and join your stream. Thank you, I appreciate that. Hey Leprechaun, thank you, I appreciate the direct to my YouTube. Thank you for sending me the heart, Neffy, I appreciate that. Thank you, I appreciate the nice feedback. All right, looks like everyone's taken care of here in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and continue here. If there's areas that just need like maybe another layer or two, I won't drive it in the same way. I'll kind of just use, like you see me doing right here, just kind of small, light, circular motions. That typically gets the job done the rest of the way for me. And then from here, I'm going to come this way. You can see I'm tipping the mag over just so that I can get right into the edge there. So I'm getting a vibrant pack off the bat there, which is a good sign. So if you listen to, I'm not driving the needle into the skin. I'm actually just letting the motions of the needle work for me. Some areas have a little bit more pressure over others, but it all stays pretty much in the same ballpark. You can even see I'm using the mag to follow this area of the design. Just creating small circular motions until I reach the connecting area right here. Continue going. I'm actually going to turn it this way though so I can get right onto the edge here. There we go. I'm going back for some more ink here. One thing that I noticed about fake skin is that not only do we have to be careful with like staining, if we, let's say if this side has 5 layers of packing and this one has 8, you're gonna notice those varying tones. So you have to kind of like be precise and symmetrical with applying it on each side as best as you can to get like a consistent clean tone all the way across. I feel like working with color on fake skin is far more difficult than working with color on human skin. But that's going to be, you know, different for every artist. You may feel the opposite. Slow and steady there. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe away to see if there's any patchiness. Just a little right here, just have to go over. And then in which instance I'll use some cross hatching. Let me know if you feel the same way. Let me know if you feel that packing color in on fake skin is more difficult than packing color in on human skin. No, I didn't use a 48. This one right here is actually done with an 11 round liner. I have the full video available on my YouTube Leprechaun. It's the live stream from earlier today. I did all the lining with an 11 round liner. Then I used a mag to fill in everything black for these lines right here. Go back for some more ink. I'm going to do a little bit of cross hatching back in this direction here. Just to tie everything in. Dab away. And there's a little bit more right here. I'm not sure if you noticed, but the black looks like it's losing its integrity a little bit because of these lighter colors. I'm not sure if some ointment, when I'm done cleaning it up, will help that a little bit, bring back some of the black there. But this is basically where we're at right now. It's looking nice and clean so far. I'm live a bit more. Be back later, phone call. Yeah, absolutely, Leprechaun. I'm live more now. I'm getting more comfortable with this. So I'll be live quite often. I'm thinking about going live and doing follow-alongs with you all, at least maybe one time a week, where maybe I give you all, or maybe even like follow-along Fridays or something like that. So I'll probably be going live at minimum at least once a week. I would like to go live as much as I can, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, I get you. I haven't used color on fake skin. Thank you. I appreciate the kind feedback. So from here, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna get a little bit of ink out of here. So here's my A point. Small circular motions until I make it to my B point. Then I'm going to go back over as you saw me do there. And I'm going to kind of repeat this here. One last layer. And then I'm going to bring it up and then kind of repeat that. I'm going back for some more ink here. I'm going to go ahead and kind of work this area right here. Bring it up to the edge. And then do the same thing. So small circular motions. Now for this, I kind of don't want to repeat this over and over and over since it's really the same process. Just a matter of small circular motions from one point to the other. I'm using lighter brush motions there, just to kind of go back over what I've already done there. And then I'm gonna kind of turn this a little bit so that way I can change my angle while still capturing this here. Hey, thank you, Native Dreamer, I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind feedback. It took me a little bit to realize that I didn't need much pressure or any pressure at all to pack. I just needed to kind of slow my hand speed down and allow my needle to make enough rounds to deposit the ink in a clean and consistent manner. I'm going back for some more ink here. Put some ointment there. And that's coming out clean. There's a little spot right here. I just have to kind of add a little bit of golden yellow too right here. Gently wipe away, and this last part is going to be done over here. Now the video on YouTube looks a little bit blurry. For that I apologize if it is here. I don't feel like it does justice, but the other stream looks like it's doing right. Yeah, Mike. Let me know. You could always email me if you're looking for something specific. Yes, practice on me next. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and finish this last area. So I'm going to go back for some more ointment, and then I'm going to make sure we're not pulling up first and foremost. So here we are. Got that area point A to B. I'm gonna actually get a new wipe so I can kind of finish this last area as cleanly as possible. And then I'm gonna go back for some more ink here. And then continue. I prefer to start at the edge right here. And then make my way to the left side using a series of small circular motions. I'm sure at this point I sound like a broken record, and for that I am sorry. Putting some ointment on my wipe here. And then I'm going to continue. It almost feels like I'm using brush-like motions. I'm using just the very tips of the needles. And it's important to understand that I'm not driving these needles into the fake skin by any means. You hear me? I commit. Once I get to a certain depth, I'll use a series of circular motions. And that's the kind of noise that we hear, is the rounds and rounds. If I were pressing harder, we would hear that. The machine would get louder and you would hear that sort of rough hit on my table. I'm going back for some more ink here. I'm going to kind of turn it this way so that way I can angle myself but while still getting this on camera. Hey, Rhythmic. No, I don't have a shop actually, no. Like my own shop, no. I feel like I'm still kind of like a baby, so that way I would rather learn from someone who's had a shop for a while and then kind of apply my learnings and findings that way. I was gonna make videos on that part of my journey, but I don't feel like I'm nearly ready to own a shop. Every artist is different. Some shops, some artists may feel ready to have a shop, but for me, definitely not just yet. I think what matters more to me right now in my tattooing journey is my technical abilities, what I'm capable of doing. I think that matters more to me. So once I get to a certain, place with my technical abilities in my career, I'll kind of go from there. I'm going back for some more ink here to finish this last piece. And then I'm going to kind of accommodate and adjust here. Yeah, baby. That's how I feel. I feel like I still have a long way to go. And go ahead and apply some ointment and see where we're at. There's any areas that need some like last minute touch up, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. This one looks like it needs a little bit right here. So I'm going to do that in the form of some cross hatching here. Just like that. Okay, so from here, what I am going to do now is I feel like I'm reaching an ending point of this here. I might just be an embryo. That's funny. You're doing it the right way, I think. Hey, I appreciate that, McMike. I feel like I feel like I'm taking it as slow as I can, trying to make the best choices that I can. So I kind of feel the same. For the yellow, the golden yellow is going to be this one right here. I've done an in-depth review on this ink. It's available on my YouTube channel. This is called the Mummy Golden Yellow. I use it for fake skin. It's fantastic for fake skin. It's said that it can be used on human skin, but I would prefer to use less reputable ink brands on fake skin only and reputable ink brands on human skin. Nothing wrong with practice though. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up here. Now, this is important right here. I feel like this is important that I talk about this while I do it. Notice, I'm not sure if you can tell, but from here, I'm actually wiping really soft. I'm not wiping hard or anything like that because the skin has been, put through a lot here. We've gone over it time and time again. So to keep it still, I guess, picture worthy so that I could take pictures when I'm done, I'm going to wipe softly as to prevent any sort of damage, because there's been times where I've used like fake skin, for example, and I'm real like rough with the way that I wipe, and when I wipe, I end up taking chunks of the fake skin out. It looks like there was more damage that was done, but I actually caused it after the tattoo. So it's important to kind of be gentle and really wipe away, taking your time. Don't be vigorous with it or anything. But this is the result right here. This is the final product. I feel like this is actually a good place to conclude this. I don't notice any other areas that I kind of need to go back over. Let me go ahead and bring YouTube up here close up. One moment. Let's go this way. Yeah, that's the way I see it. We're all babies here. So this is what we are working with, YouTube. I'll go ahead and bring the Tic Tac up here too. Let me go ahead and do YouTube real quick. So this is the final product. This is our first follow along that we did live. These are the results. Although it's not by any means perfect, let me know how you all think I did. Let me show you close up here. You can kind of see there's minimal damage to the skin. Not by any means perfect or anything, but very nice, picture worthy, and I feel like it reads cleanly. Let me know what you all think of this right here. Giving you a close-up view of the final results. I'm going to bring the Tic Tac close up here. A+. Hey, thank you, William. I appreciate that. I got a little popping. Hey, thank you, the good guy. I appreciate it. Yeah, right. I agree. I thought so too. You're welcome, Audacious. I hope that you can take something from this and immediately apply it to your workflow on your end. Let me go ahead and bring the Tic Tac up here. All right, now it's the Tic Tac's turn. Bear with me, Tic Tac. All right, so here we are. Here's a close-up look for the Tic Tac. I'm trying to kind of zoom out for you all. Here we go. This is a top view. If anyone has any questions at all, please feel free to let me know. I feel like this is a great place to kind of conclude this stream. Thank you for the kind feedback. This stream, if you want to follow along with me, is going to be available on my YouTube channel for playback for those who are interested. The wipes that I'm using are Scotch Shop wipes. Sorry. The paper towels that I'm using are just simple Scotch Shop wipes. But these are the results that I got right here. Once again, if anyone has any questions at all, I encourage you to please feel free to let me know. Drop a comment. I'll do my best to assist you in the best possible direction. Good night. I'll see you later. I don't know who left, but thank you. Thank you for joining. Later, Irish. Have a good night, Irish. I'll see you on the next one too, man. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. Very nice. Solid tattoo. Nice stick. Well saturated. Great job. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for the lesson. All right. I feel like this is a great place to conclude this video here. Lola says, what cartridge size did you use for this tattoo? I've actually used a small assortment. I started with an 11 round liner, and then I believe I used an 11 round liner to outline the entire black area, and then I used a 13 round mag to fill it all in black. Just so you know, this entire follow along is available on my YouTube channel in case you want to follow along step by step. It's on the live stream section, so that way you can kind of go through this, download the stencil, follow along with me. For these inner areas, I use smaller specialty Inkclaw mags, and then I used this mag right here, which is going to be 6 3-round liners at the end of this mag, single row for the yellow. So it was a bit of a specialty needles that I use, but you can do it with a mag or a round mag. It doesn't really matter. You don't need specialty needles to complete this tattoo here. I use Trueskin fake skin, and then I use Inkeeze Ointment to keep my skin clean here. Gene says, dang, I missed it. Hey, Gene, don't worry. On my YouTube channel, I stream this live as well. So the entire stream from beginning to end is available on my YouTube, all the way from the lining down to the color packing. So don't worry. You can just head over to my YouTube channel, go to the live section, and then you'll see the video there. Joshua Amos, love your content, man. I've learned so much. Hey, I'm glad that I can help you, Joshua. I'm grateful. Thank you for the kind feedback. Oh, and I subbed to your YouTube. Thank you, Rhythmic. I appreciate that. Later, Mike. I appreciate that. Yeah, they are the Scotch Shop wipes that mechanics use. That's what these are. Okay, everyone, you plan on doing lessons? Maybe as I start progressing more, I probably will, yeah. Until then, I'll be doing more of these follow-alongs with you all. Let me go ahead and talk a little bit about some resources real quick for you all before I go and conclude this video. I do have a Patreon where you can do more follow-alongs like this from beginning to end with me. If you go to patreon.com/Daniel Yuck, you can go ahead and become a Patreon and do follow-alongs. I have many episodes. I think I have like over 60 follow-along episodes. You can ask me unlimited questions that are tailored to your wants and needs as the tattoo artist. You can also submit your tattoo images for tattoo feedback. On top of that, you get to join a community of like-minded artists that are also asking similar questions and kind of get feedback from them as well. So if you are interested in this sort of format right here and want to follow along with me more, check out my Patreon. I will go ahead and leave the description. I will leave the links to the gear that I was using in this video in the description once this video is uploaded to my channel. Shroomy, thank you for the gift. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. But so yeah, so we do have that Patreon. You may want to check that out for those who are interested in following along. You get to ask me unlimited questions as much as you need. I also have an assortment of various tattooing workbooks for those who are wanting to develop even further. We can use a tattoo machine in combination with my tattooing workbook. This is a statue that I did right here. Let me kind of show you all. Here is a statue that I did yesterday within my tattooing workbook. And this is one of the exercises that I finished. This is helping me get more familiar with realism For those who are familiar with my channel would know that I do line dominant styles. So this workbook is called Stencil Focus Statues Edition, and it's helping me step outside my comfort zone and develop my statues here, as you can see. I feel like for one of my first statues ever, it came out pretty nice. This workbook is available on Amazon. If you go to Amazon.com, type in Daniel Yuck, Stencil Focus, you'll see this workbook amongst assortment of other tattooing workbooks that I created. They are designed to help us with lining, shading, dot work. I do have some for textures, animals, wildlife, all types of workbooks, and we can use a tattoo machine as well. Hey, that's awesome. Yeah, I did recently release a full review on that Stencil Focus workbook. So for those who want to know more about that workbook that I just showed you, it is available on my channel. Now, if anyone has any questions, feel free to head over to the YouTube. You can go ahead and drop a comment on any question, or I'm sorry, on any video that you may have a question on. I'll do my best to assist. Be sure to check out that Patreon. That'll be it for this stream right here. I don't want to say goodbye, but I have to now. I'm going to go ahead and conclude this stream here. Thank you all very, very much from the bottom of my heart for spending your evening, morning, or afternoon with me. I'm truly appreciative of your time and support. For those who sent me gifts and super thanks, I'm truly grateful. For those who participated and followed along, I'm truly grateful. Even if you just gave me your time, I'm grateful for you too. Thank you all. You all have a great day. Thank you. Have a good night.